journey, giving you a walk of life, and gonna be just dropping some seeds on you that you can take and water, and hopefully that you can get a harvest from. All right. Again, I think all of y'all know, but I'm Marcus Randall, born and raised Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Went to Glen Oaks High School. Upon leaving Glen Oaks High School, I got an athletic scholarship to go play for the Tigers, LSU. And then after leaving there, graduating, then having a chance to go on to the Tennessee Titans and then Green Bay, and then found my way all the way back to where it all started back in Baton Rouge, and I've been coaching there ever since for the last about 17 years, 10 years as a head coach. Some of y'all heard my story yesterday during the welcome. But again, man, as I had a chance to see all y'all guys go out today and participate and walk around, and man, we got some great things going on. Hopefully you guys had a chance to get that good install in today. And now that we've fed you physically, maybe we're gonna give you some mental food here too as well. So I know we're waiting on about 2 more guys to pull up. And I'm gonna have those guys just come on up, and I'm gonna get it started because it is 7 o'clock. So without further ado, I'm just gonna introduce our first speaker that's gonna be coming up. This guy right here, I met once I went to LSU as a freshman. He was already on the team. One of our most dominating defensive linemen, and you know he was our all-conference guy. He took his talents to be able to go on and start his walk to as coaching. He's coached at Evangel. He's a state championship coach. He's a motivational speaker, and now he's the head coach of Centenary College. And without further ado, my friend, my ex-teammate, Byron Dawson.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to come here and share. You know, when Marcus, my former quarterback, was speaking, I was thinking about team and the importance of team. I know each one of you student athletes here have a dream. And today I want to talk about how every dream needs a team. Teamwork is important. We play the ultimate team sport, which is football. And I'm so proud of Gridiron football and what they're doing here, the leadership, Mr. Bryson, Marcus Randall, all the coaches who are spending their time and efforts to make this day possible and this event go on. I had the pleasure to play for some great coaches. If you take the word coach and the etymology of the word coach, a coach is a transporter. So that's why you get on the charter bus, they call it a coach. A horse and carriage is a stage coach, and that's a coach job. Where are you going? What's your dream? A coach that had a lot of influence on my life was Nick Saban. And I think that anyone that has a dream needs to remember that although you're building your dream team, which is your influences and your friends and your family, you need a coach. You need a guy. You need a driver that can not only take you where you need to go, but push you. A driver, a literal driver. Everyone in here has a team. You got a team that you pull for. You may be a 49ers fan. You may be a Cowboys. For me, I love the Saints, Southern, Grambling, LSU, of course, Centenary, Tulane. We all love to pull for a team. My former coach, Nick Saban, was asked, what will you miss most from coaching? He said that he will miss being a part of a team, a brotherhood, having that connection. One day I woke up and I realized that all of my success was a result of my team, my family, my coaches, my mentors. That's important. Back in the day, they had something called a dream team. And this team was an amazing team. It would go down in basketball history. Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, the greatest team ever compiled. And they won big. And the reason why they had so much success, they had an amazing coach, Coach Daly, but they had the best players. I want to encourage all of you guys today, choose the right team. We've all played pickup ball. And the first thing you want to do, you want to have first pick. Why? So you can get the best player. You know that if you get the best player, you've got a chance to win in that game. It's the same in life. If you want to win in the game of life, you have a choice to choose the right players. We are not born winners. We are not born losers, but we are born choosers. And a good player can't outplay a bad team. Back in 2000, LeBron James had went 8 consecutive years playing in the NBA Finals. His first year with the Lakers in 2019, he didn't make the playoffs. He came down to New Orleans and he got AD. And he came back to Los Angeles and they won in 2020. Even the greatest player of all time, LeBron James, can't outplay a bad team. You know, one time I hired a coach, and he would show up every day and he would say, "What up? Let's get her done." And I looked at him, I said, "This dude is corny and lame." I said, "Why would you show up and say that?" He would come in the next day, "What up? Let's get her done today." This went on for days and weeks. One day I showed up to work and I said, "What up? Let's get her done." That's been over 20 years. I still find myself saying, "What up? Let's get her done." See, what happens, guys, is that the wrong voices will lead you to the wrong choices. And even though you think you control your ear, it's not what you think you control in your ear, it's what you hear. So when you pick the right team, you will have the right voice to make the right choice. In my closing, I want to show you guys this. I keep this chain with me and we use it as a symbol for our team. Chain is nothing but a symbol, a series of links. Each one of these links have a job. The stronger the links, the stronger the chain. You can do a powerful thing with this chain, man. You can hook it up to a train. You can pull a plane. I can lock down this building with this chain. But if one of these links is corrupted, the chain is useless and weak. No matter how strong you are, no matter what type of family you was raised in, if you link up with the wrong people, it can steal and kill your dream. My dad used to say, "Boy, you play around in trash, you will get dirty." So make sure you surround yourself with the right team, and it'll help you to fulfill your dreams. Thank you for your time. May God bless you, and may He keep you.
All right, man, we appreciate you, big Coach Byron Dawson, man. Again, a motivational guy, man. He's been motivating guys and sending guys all over to college, and now he's getting guys ready and prepared for the professional level. All right, man, moving on to our next speaker. Without further ado, man, this is a guy that's a native of Alexandria right now. He's an offensive line coach at Bowdoin High School, and he's been promoted to the associate head coach. He played his college ball at Grambling State University. He's a SWAC champ from 2011. And without further ado, we're going to bring up Katerio Pennywell.
All right, how everybody doing today? It's my first time coaching at the Gridiron Bowl, and I want to thank Coach Andy and Jace for giving me an opportunity. Let's give them a hand, y'all. All right, so real quick, I'm not going to be too long-winded. What I want to do is talk to you guys, especially you high school guys. I see some of my former players, and just a little update. I'm the head football coach at Alexandria Middle Magnet School, Principal Dennis Stewart in Alexandria. And I'm at the stage right now where I'm developing young kids. One of my players is here, Jaden Bird. And I was former Peabody High School head football coach. And I see a couple of my players here. So I want to tell y'all, keep working hard. And at the end of the day, you know, you want to take these opportunities and run with them because, you know, where you come from in your neighborhoods, you know, many don't get those chances, kind of like myself. A little bit of background about me, from Alexandria, born and raised in the lower third area, poverty area, right behind Peabody Magnet High School. I had a mom and dad separated, grew up in separate homes. So, you know how that we are. Some of y'all can relate to that. You know, sometimes dad is not there or mom. So somebody has to pick up the torch. And my grandmother was the one who just kind of kept me on the right path. And at the end of the day, you need that guidance, that wisdom from the old folks, as they call it. So I kind of picked up that at a young age and just took it, going towards in my forward in my career. Graduated from Peabody High School, all district, all CNLA, all state offensive lineman. I got recruited by James Spady. He was the offensive line coach at the time at Grambling under head coach Melvin Spears. And then Coach Broadway ended up signing me and my teammate Jeremy Peterson from Peabody, and went on to Grambling and won the SWAC championship and all that. But all that sounds good, but I want to talk to you about adversity. You guys going to college, so every story has a backstory. All right, it's not all good. So academic, and yesterday I heard one of the coaches say something about academics. Let me tell y'all how important it is. So raise your hand if you want to get recruited. All right, thank you. So the first thing a recruiter is going to ask, how's his grades? That's the first thing that they ask. You can have no talent. See, coaches want kids who can be taught, who can be coached, who's not afraid of being taught new things, who's not too much worried about change and all that. You know, they can adjust to anything. That's what coaches want to coach. College coaches want to see that. So I'm getting to that because I was on academic probation, man. And I've always loved school, and school, you know, kind of kept me on the right path, and I took school for granted. So I lost my eligibility for the NCAA. And, you know, luckily I was able to be a part of a SWAC championship team in 2011 under Coach Doug Williams, Super Bowl MVP from the Washington Redskins. You know, he ran a good program. And but at the end of the day, he called me in the office one day and he said, Pennywell, you're a great player, but you are academically ineligible. And I cried like a baby, y'all. But that motivated me to keep going and do something else because I didn't want to go back to Alexandria. I didn't want to move back home. It was nothing going on there. So I had a choice to make, either get my grades or go back home and go work at Kroger and push boogies. And they wasn't paying that. I think minimum wage at the time was, $7.50, $7.50 an hour. So, you know, that's not good for a 20-year-old kid coming in making that kind of money with no certifications, nothing behind your name. So guys, and then these days you can go, it's so much football you can play now. That was in 2009. Where you went to school is where you went to school. It wasn't no transferring, you know, Mom, I'm tired, this and that. No, you had to go where you had to go. So I made a decision, and I stayed there and got my academics right and got my bachelor's and my master's. And I always had a passion for football. I knew I wasn't going to the NFL. I knew I wasn't going to the league. So I ended up being a volunteer coach, coming back to Peabody under Marvin Hall for 1 year. And that led me to teaching. I never wanted to be a teacher, but teaching is coaching. And every coach in here can understand that. They understand what that means. And if you can be coached, you can be taught. That's why they're called student athletes for a reason. So you older guys, you seniors, man, please, if you're gonna go to college, take it serious. I recommend everybody go, but it's not for everybody. It's so many more ways you can go and get certifications to make money and take care of your family. And I coach my guys that. I care about them as men. I don't care about them as athletes. You can break a leg, you can break an arm, you can get shot, anything, but you don't ever lose your brain. Never lose your brain. Moving forward, got into football. Jules Sullen, Coach Jules Sullen taught me how to be a head coach, taught me the ins and outs. And I got the opportunity to coach at Washington Marion, ended up serving as a head coach at Washington Marion High School. And me and my wife ended up moving back to Alexandria, and I always wanted to come back home and give back. So, like I said, anything is possible, y'all. You know, just keep God first in your life. Make sure you're always respecting yourself, respecting others. Thank your parents. You don't know what your parents go through to make sure you need what you need, or you got what you got. So I always make sure that we're acknowledging that. Because I'm a parent now. I have 4 daughters and a son. So at the end of the day, my son was just born November 5th. So I'm proud of it. My first son, only son. And I'm telling you, parents go through a lot for their kids. So always make sure that you represent them as well when you're out there in the community. Because when I was coming up, my grandmother always tell me, I got somebody watching you, and you never know it. And they waiting on you, so you can be corrected. So guys, keep your academics. Make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom. Always be coachable. An old coach told me, Pennywell, you need to be a sponge. A sponge soaks up everything. Be a sponge. Soak up all you can. You're never too old or too young for wisdom. 8th graders, you got 4 years. That's it. You got 4 years, guys. Handle your business. It goes by quick. You'll blink your eye, and then your mama be walking you across the stage. All right? Take it serious. Make sure if you need help, ask for help. A closed mouth don't get fed. And once again, Coach Andy, Jace, man, thank y'all. I've been enjoying myself. I've been coaching the big uglies. The offensive line is the big uglies. So that's my area. That's what I do. And I'm having a lot of fun. So once again, man, I thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Coach. Be a sponge, man. I like that, man. Be a sponge, man. Soak up all this good knowledge that's out here for you. All right, coming up next, man, it's a guy, played his ball at Southeastern University. He then coached on the professional level with the Carolina Panthers. He then coached with Southern University. And now he is the defensive coordinator at Woodlawn High School. Without further ado, Christopher Clark.
How y'all doing? So I want to talk to you about betting on yourself. All right. I ain't about to give you a story about my bio and all that. I'm gonna talk about y'all about betting on yourself. Raise your hand if you got a scholarship here. All right. So it's not everybody in the room, correct? You ever asked yourself why I don't have a scholarship? What's my reason and why? Have y'all ever looked in the mirror and asked yourself that? All right. So the thing is, we live in a world where a lot of people don't bet on themselves. We get on social media, this and that, and we see that. I know y'all get on social media, y'all see guys signing D1, this guy living like this in college. Let me tell y'all something though. That's gonna brainwash y'all. You can't get on social media, you can't worry about what you see, and you can't keep up with all that. We got a crawl before you walk, right? You gotta take baby steps at everything. So I want y'all to start betting on yourself, creating a process for yourself. Number one thing is, y'all got to do the little things right. Show me, who gets fussed at by their parents for not cleaning their room up? To be honest. All right, most of y'all in here, right? So let me tell you something. Your parents who work hard every day to provide for you, they asking you to do one little thing, clean your room up. Y'all know how little that is? I ain't realized that stuff until I got older about doing the little things right. Because if you do the little things right, the bigger blessings come. All right. So y'all got to start holding yourselves accountable. That's number one. Being accountable for everything you do. Why I don't have this? Why I don't have this offer? Why this school not looking at me? Why this and that? Why coach always fussing at me? Why this? Look in the mirror and be like, man, you know what? It's me. That's the number one thing. We can't accept reality when it's our fault. We want to point the finger. I did it. Everybody has done it. But y'all got to take these moments and realize that this could be it. This might be it for some of y'all. I'm being real. With this transfer portal and NILs and everything, coach is not looking at, y'all went through the high school recruiting thing. A lot of y'all didn't get looked at. And I think all y'all are great players here. But you have to be where your feet are, and you got to take advantage. If an NAIA school come to you, don't just, man, I ain't worried about this, man. I'm bigger than that. No, you take that because somebody taking the opportunity on you. You got it? Now let's talk about grade, like Coach said with grades. That's one of the things I didn't do right in school. I ain't care about grades. I was just like, well, ball gonna save me. Here to tell y'all guys, from seeing it for myself, from coaching and calling players and letting them know, man, look, we can't take you, bro. Your grades. Y'all got to take y'all grades serious. The little things in life, like I tell you, the little things. But I want every single one of y'all in here to create a process. And I want y'all to start betting on yourself. What can you do to be great, don't think about tomorrow. Think about today. What can I do to dominate and win today? What can I do to be better than I was yesterday? Because I can't go back. Y'all gotta believe in yourselves. Y'all gotta hold yourself accountable. And you gotta be a character. Your character is the biggest thing. When coaches come to these schools, coaches looking at you, they looking at character. How you talk to the counselor, your teacher, the guy, the cafeteria people, the custodians. They want to see all that. They want to see how you react when things go wrong. When you get accused of something that you didn't have nothing to do. They want to see all that. What y'all do on the field. Example, receivers. I know y'all want to catch the ball, catch 1,000 yards, but what are you doing when you ain't getting the ball? Are you blocking? Or are you pouting? I'm just saying. Lineman, when you getting here, what you gonna do? You gonna, man, ref, this and that? Or you gonna keep fighting? It's things like that they look at, guys. While y'all here, I want y'all to take advantage of talking to people, creating relationships, and doing what you can to give it your all. You don't want to leave here Tuesday and say, man, I wish I would have made that play. I should have paid attention Saturday. I should have paid attention to the guys that was speaking. They telling me something. Because I'm telling you, you live in regret. You don't want to do that. All right? So, better yourself, have character, have morals, be respect. Respect yourself, love yourself and everything. And you have a daily process. Do the little things right. If your parents tell you to clean the room, take the trash out, all that. If your coach tells you, hey, look, man, I need you to make this block, crack block for me. Man, coach, I don't know if I can. Nah, just do it. Those are the things that people want to see, all right? But y'all gotta believe in yourselves. Some of y'all get down and you beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. It is what it is. It's life. You gotta roll with the punches, all right? Stay tight, create a brotherhood, create a bond. All right? That's all I gotta say. I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate your coach, man. Great message, man. Coach made some statements right there, man, about the journey and about if someone was to come at you and being humble enough to be able to take those things. When he's talked about the NAIA, man, everybody's journey gonna be different. Where I go, where you're gonna end up, and where you're gonna stay at or not stay at. Everybody's journey is gonna be different. I know y'all may have heard us talk about a guy named Wydad Williams. He played in this game in 2021 when it was at Southeastern University. He didn't have any offers, came from General Trash. He left here, went to Delta State, took it. He really didn't want to go. He took it, stayed there 2 years, ended up going to ULM, played there, and they switched him from quarterback to safety. And now he's the top safety at Ole Miss in the SEC. So again, he had a journey. He like Coach said, he believed in himself and believed he was good enough, but he just had to show everybody and make sure everybody else knew he was good enough. So again, your walk and your journey may not be the same as the next man. All right. So without further ado, though, we're gonna keep moving. We had 3 great speakers that came up, and we're gonna move on to the next. This next guy is a guy that came out of Baton Rouge. He was Elite 11 quarterback finalist coming out of high school, one of the top rated quarterbacks in the nation. He ended up going to LSU, got in the transfer portal, was a starting quarterback for Syracuse this past year, and he still got 2 more years left to play, and he will be one of those guys that you will hear in the near future that's going to be on the top of the radars right here. So without further ado, I coached this guy. He's a quarterback, Ricky Collins.
How y'all doing? I want to say I want to start off by saying opportunities aren't given, they're taken. I'm gonna lead off with that. But I want to talk about it's kind of a recycled speech from a school that me and Coach Randall met at. I want to talk about your dash. Your dash is the day you were born. I was born in 2005, and the day you'll die. Whatever day that'll be for me, I don't know. But And my dad so far, like Coach Randall said, I met Coach Randall 7th grade, and I was small, couldn't throw a high school ball, maybe past 30 yards. And I had a lot of work I had to do. I had to look in the mirror and get it right. But I put the work in. We ended up leaving the Church Academy was the school that we met at. Went to Woodlawn. Woodlawn went maybe 1-10 the year before, whatever. Then my freshman year I started. I threw 11 interceptions. 11. We went 2-8. Sophomore year we made a turnaround. Then junior year, I mean, I didn't have a lot of offers. Junior year, my recruitment picked up, I say. Then senior year, obviously, I made my name and became who I am today. But I want to leave y'all with things like Coach said. Don't turn down those schools that get frowned upon, like a Yale or like a Grambling or a Southern or a Louisiana Christian, where we at now, because the name of the game is production. You gotta show your production, show your value, show your capabilities, your skill set. Because if you don't do that, you're not gonna be able to go to the schools you want to go. I was blessed and fortunate enough to be able to go to a school like LSU out of high school, then go to Syracuse. But everybody here want to go to NFL, I'm sure. And I want to go to NFL. I'm still on that journey and not giving up on it. But the only way you get there is by producing. You got to bet on yourself, like Coach said. Don't never give up on what you want to do, because this journey is hard. It's really hard. I had to leave Baton Rouge and go across the world to New York by myself. When I first got to Syracuse, it was probably, I think I remember the day, probably January 25th. My first day on campus, I was moving in 3 feet of snow. I'm from Baton Rouge. Seen snow twice in my life. But it's humbling. You go there, I mean, I tell my short story there. I went there. For those of you following me, I went through the spring. I got named the starter. I got hurt. I tore a ligament in my thumb, my throwing hand. Couldn't throw for like 2 months. Summer came around, they brought in another quarterback, and I was still recovering from my thumb injury. So, I mean, I guess you could say excuse of what it is, but like I said, but at the beginning of this, opportunities aren't given, they're taken. Truth be told, he took that. It was hard for me to get back and bounce completely back fast enough to produce how I wanted to. But God got a funny way of making things shake. I ended up starting 7 games this season because that starter that came in, he got hurt. And you think you're ready for something until it's given to you. That was this past season was probably the most emotional season I've probably been in. Not even the season that my freshman year I started, and then we went 2-8. This season was emotional because, like everybody up here been saying, you got to better block out that noise. Coach Randall been preaching that to me since I first met him. You got to better block out that noise, and like I heard it, and I'm sure probably a lot of y'all doing it right now. Y'all hearing it, but it's not processing it. Y'all not processing it, and when you go through that, all those speeches and all the long talks the coaches give you after practice, everything, all the knowledge just start coming back and start hitting you. And I started referring back to a lot of that. I started reading my Bible more because, like I said, the season was emotional because I didn't play my best. We didn't have a great record, but I was far from home and I wasn't playing my best. I ain't have my family to fall back on, and my support stuff. When you're at the top of the world, everybody love you. You get 1,000 calls. You get all the text messages. Everybody want to repost your stuff on Instagram. Everybody want to do that when you're at the top of the world. But you find out who really in your circle when you go through a 3-8 season, 3-7 season. My first game starting this season, finishing the game, was versus Clemson. I threw a touchdown to seal the game. To seal it, we won the game. Everybody blowing my phone up. My last game I started in this season was versus Miami. Threw a pick six going into half. We stayed in the game, but never could get all the way back. And I think I got I can remember the 5 calls and 5 messages I got from people. My grandfather, my girlfriend, Coach Randall, Coach Chidi, and my mom. The people that you're with, you went to high school with, your friends, things like that. Some of them may still be there, but you had to hang around like-minded people. Eventually, the people that you went to school with and that you think y'all close with, y'all gonna be boys forever with, y'all may be, but eventually y'all might outgrow them. If you hang with bums, you're gonna be a bum. If you hang with millionaires or scientists or people who invent stuff or things like that, you naturally gain a creative knack of trying to be successful. Like I said earlier in this, and I'm gonna wrap it up. It's not gonna be easy. A lot of y'all probably under-recruited or not recruited. Some of y'all may be going walk on at a school. Some of y'all may have scholarships. But when you get to your spot, be a workaholic. And I'm not mean like pointless work or you just in the building doing pedal drills, cone drills. Do the boring work. Do the things that nobody else want to do. Because that's what's going to get you where you want to be. Everybody going to go in the building and do 100 cone drills, but who going to go sit in the film room at 5 a.m. by yourself when nobody else is? Or be the last one out the building at 10 p.m. Be that guy. Don't be a talker, be a doer. I appreciate y'all for having me. I mean, I was just in y'all shoes. Like Coach said, it happened like this. I ain't think I was going to be a guest speaker this fast, but I'm here. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. And, man, stay true to yourself, man. Who you hang around is who you become. You're a product of your environment. Don't become where you're from. I'm from Baton Rouge. I grew up right across the hump from Southern, North Baton Rouge. That's not who I am, though. I see myself being a millionaire, getting to the NFL, and being one of the few that make it out of Baton Rouge. That's who you want to be. Write your own story. Don't become a statistic. Appreciate y'all. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Big Rick. Again, man, that's a guy right here that's still on his journey, man. He's still pushing. I definitely wanted him to come and speak to you. I know we was talking about guys that's already finished playing, but when we started talking about this 7-on-7, I told Andy, I said, man, I want to get Ricky up here so he could be able to tell these guys his story and to be able to talk about it. They say once you can talk about things too as well, and you could put it in the atmosphere, you could put it out, and you can get it out your mind, man. Then you can move forward and be able to move on to whatever's next for you without those things lingering. Man, he made some great points right there. Who you hang around, you either gonna influence them or they gonna influence you at the end of the day. Like you say, and everybody can't go with you. My friends, if I got goals to be here and they over here, again, once I elevate, I gotta be able to be at that next level. I don't want to go back unless I'm reaching back to pull one up. And that should be something that you take with you. Because again, all of y'all guys, especially those senior guys, y'all about to be on a new walk of life now. You're going to be in new places. Just like he just said, man, he had to go to Syracuse where he never really seen snow. But now you got to make adjustments. Go down there. You never know where you may be called to go. So don't make your mind up on and have it set on this way I'm going to be no matter what. At the end of the day, I got to go where my journey leads me. And it might be leaving some people behind. Okay, so I'm gonna move on, baby. I'm gonna move on in. All right, up next, we got a guy right here I met this year, played at Bel Air High School. He's actually right now, he's a professional cornerback right now. His pro rank was the 27th best player in the LFA league, and he's now gonna be moving up to the UFL this spring. This guy right here is, I met him this year, but this guy comes back. He's been playing professional football for the last couple of years in the spring. Just like the UFL, he'll be playing again in spring. But in his off time, he comes back and he's been coaching the last 2 years. And I was fortunate enough as the athletic director to bring him in to Woodlawn High School as the defensive back coach to work with our guys. And he'll be leaving off Charlotte to go on and finish playing his pro ball. Without further ado, Taiwan Hawk Harris.
How y'all doing today? So just to tell my story today, for most of y'all, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Bel Air High School. I was all Metro my senior year. Went to Louisiana Tech out of high school. But when I first got there, I came with the same mindset that I had in high school to where, I'm here to play football. But like Coach them say, your grades come first. So I flunked out of school. Messed my grades up, and I had to go JUCO. I went to Butler Community College in Kansas, and it's crazy because, like Rick said, like my first day off the plane, it snowed, and I'm walking to my class, and I tripped and fell in the snow, and told my mom, I said, man, I can't stay here, and she said, man, something good gonna come out of this. Went back to the room, and I prayed, and went through that spring. And was going to that fall. I was gonna make my first start in my first college football game, and I got a call after our team meeting on Friday that my mom passed, right? And it kind of broke me down, So I went played the next game, came home for the funeral. 2 months later, I finna get ready to leave, like November. So I got some schools that's talking about offering me and all that, but I go to try to block a field goal in a football game and tear my knee up. I tore my ACL, LCL, PCL, hamstring, dislocated my knee. And when I went to the doctor for my CAT scan and all that stuff, he told me that you got a 1% chance that you ever play football again in your life. Told me that I probably can't even walk straight, no more. And I went back to the room and I cried. Called my coach, called my brother them, and I just cried. And at this time, too, you gotta think about it. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, family 14, 15 hours away from home. And I'm just lights off crying, like, damn, like I'm done. And I just started praying, I thought back to what my mom told me, when she first dropped me off, that something good gonna come out of this, right? So I said, man, I'm gonna play again. They got me messed up. And it took me 2 years to finally get back. I went to treatment every day, not even knowing if I'm even gonna play again, but it took me 2 years to finally get back. And my first day back at practice, I got cleared, came back and broke my wrist. Had to sit out again, so now I'm sunk back in that dark place again, And my JUCO team, they was finna cut me, because JUCO only lasts 2 years, and I was going to my second year, and they was finna send me home, but my defensive coordinator stood on the table for me and said, man, look, we can't cut this kid. We can't send him back home. And I remember I was coming home from Christmas for the break, and my auntie husband, he told me, he said, man, you might as well just quit playing and come home and just work, because you ain't gonna play again and all that. I said, man, why would I quit today and tomorrow could be my breakthrough, And came back after my wrist, played, got 3 offers. I finished at Northern Colorado, and played there, and I just played my first season pro in the LFA league. So I'm here to tell y'all today that, don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Always keep going, and when adversity hit, just look it in the eye and face it. And that's all I got for y'all today.
Man, that's a great story, man. Obviously, you're gonna go through some adversity, man. You're hearing some of the same, even though you're hearing different journeys, different life experiences. You can kind of see the trend of things people had to do to be able to reach the points they are, and it's not gonna be an easy journey. There's gonna be some ups and downs, but it's gonna be about some of the things that one of the coaches spoke about earlier about adversity. Can you deal with that? And then how you gonna deal with it? There's things that's gonna happen in the game that it might be a holding call. It might be this and that may happen, But again, it's about how you respond. Again, I tell a lot of people, they tell me, they start asking me about advice and about choices. I say, really? I mean, at the end of the day, there isn't a lot of bad choices. It's what you do after you make the decision that make it good or bad most times. If you make a decision and it work out good, everybody can be like, ooh, that was a good decision. If you make a decision and you don't really work at it, or what you do after and it turn out bad, then everybody gonna say, what? That was a bad decision. So again, making decisions, a lot of people don't want to make a decision. So making decisions, but it's what you do after you make the decision that's gonna make it pretty much right or wrong. So it's on you. All right, so without further ado, man, we're gonna move on to our next guy that we have up. All right, this guy right here, I met last year too as well. This is his second year actually coaching in the game. He actually played here at LCU, and he is now the defensive back coach at Auditorium High School. Without further ado, Coach Patrick Cleveland.
How y'all doing? Good evening. It's kind of ironic sometimes when you think about it. When you come back in, you speak at events like this that you technically got, by statistically not supposed to be at. I did something that none of y'all did, right? I didn't get a chance to play high school football. I went to Baton Rouge High School in Baton Rouge. Our school was known academically, right? It's an academic powerhouse in a sense. So I was in step team, I was in track, I played soccer, I did golf. I actually made a district championship in golf and led it in golf. So my story is a little bit unique. In 8th grade, I broke my leg playing football, and I was undersized at the time. I was probably like 5'6", 100 pounds. So there's a sense, from a parent's standpoint, looking at it, it didn't make sense for me to try and go pursue this type of dream, and I already was out to a bad start. So my dad decided to, let's go pursue academics and let that be your driving point to college. I still played the passion for sports and athleticism. I played track, cross country all throughout college. All throughout high school, and then I played AAU basketball during my summers. So I always had this physical capabilities. I wound up studying really hard, and I had a 26 in ACT. So my academics is what carried me to first get my opportunities. I had an honors college scholarship to Southern University, where I was at for 2 years, taking regular classes and honors classes, and holding my own and getting preparations for my honors college thesis. When my friends would always ask me to come work out, go to the gym, and I was always involved, and I already had athletes that was friends that I was training in a sense. So I got the vision. I still wanted to play ball myself, right? Everybody knows about D1 football, D2, D3, JUCO football, right? But has everybody heard about prep football? Prep, right? So I played for a team called Bayou Prep. My sophomore year in college, my friends decided that you might as well go ahead and give it a shot, go try out and walk on for Southern team. They say, you already wasn't playing anyway, so no harm, no foul. I started training, right? I had the speed, I had the footwork from soccer, I had the endurance from track, and I had the athleticism from basketball. So I trained hard, trained for a year straight, and I wound up playing for a team called Bayou Prep. My sophomore year was at Southern, and it's a full JUCO situation, right? I wound up getting eight offers. LC wound up having a camp, right? At Denham Springs, I paid $50 to go to the camp, and I bet on myself that I'm gonna go in and put my skills to the test. At the camp, I wanted to get in defensive player of the camp and got off on spot from LC, which opened the doorway for me to become the LC that following year. So I transferred from Southern, came to LC, going into my junior year, first time playing college football, first time playing high school football, and putting on pads in 4 or 5 years, right? So saying to say, don't doubt yourself or let what other people say around you affect what you could do, right? I took an opportunity that wasn't out there, like Mr. Ricky said earlier, right? Take opportunities out there. They're not just going to be out there for you if you don't do anything with it, right? Took my opportunity, came here in 2019 as a corner, sat out, didn't really play at all my freshman year. My sophomore year, I switched over to safety, and I wound up playing, starting. But then COVID happened, right? So we missed that entire spring season. So adversity hit again. Do you want to stay at the school that COVID is happening, or you going back home, right? Continue to go through it, and eventually I let myself get into a mental rut, and I messed up my opportunities to the point where I got suspended from LC, from this very campus. I got suspended academically for a full school year. I couldn't go to any school. My transcripts were on hold, and I had to go home, All right, so I make those even more decisions. What am I going to do? Am I going to cry about it, or am I going to continue to fight, try to get back in the position to better myself and do what I said I wanted to do? All right, went home, worked at a restaurant. I worked selling cars, and I trained. I was at the gym every day. I was on the field every day, and I had friends around me that helped strengthen my mindset that I could do it. Right? We talked about also earlier about having those chains and who you have holding on to you, pushing you to motivate you to go higher. I had people speaking life into me, saying that you could do it and that you can do it. So I did. Had the opportunity to come back to LC for my senior year and still had to fight. Going from being a starter to getting kicked out of school to watching the guys that played under you. Now they're the starters, and how do you get back in the situation where you can fully fight back and find your athletic confidence again? Saying all that to say, right, I fought through a lot of adversity in my time to get here, and now I get the opportunity to coach and to take my passion that I have for the sport and give it out to y'all, and hope that y'all can see that in a display outwardly, right? I talked to my group earlier today about when y'all come out here and build a connection and network, right? It's not about what you're doing, it's about who you know. And us as coaches, when we come here, we're all networking and trying to build connections for ourselves also. Find somebody you know, make a friend, get somebody's phone number, and you know who can help you out down the line. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Coach Cleveland. Coach Cleveland actually spoke on the 707 last year, and I just thought that it would be great to bring him back because he has a very unique story. He didn't even play in high school and followed his dream and worked hard and found a way to be on a college football team and also starting on that team and still having to go through adversity. So once you make it, man, you still, there's no time to relax. That's what a lot of people do. Once they get what they say they wanted, they goal, they kind of shut it down. And I'm gonna tell you something that I know Coach Byron Dawson spoke about Coach Nick Saban, but that was my coach too as well. And it was a saying he always said, you're either getting better or you're getting worse, because you don't stay the same. And that stuck with me. That really, like, well, if I just stay right here, I'm gonna be the same. Well, I'm wasting time. So really, I'm not the same. So again, that was one of those sayings that always stuck with me. All right. Now, last speaker today for the 707, another guy I had a chance to coach in high school, won 2 state championships with him at Southern University Laboratory School. This guy was one of the highest rated offensive linemen coming out of high school. The top in the nation, 5-star. Went on to LSU. Got into where he'll tell his own story. He left LSU and went to FAMU, Florida A&M. After being there for a year, he went on to Colorado with Dion Neon. And now, he's still working and still doing his thing, and now he's opened up his own company too as well, while he's still been working out Bayou Athletics and Bayou Company. I believe they ended up giving him like a big old farm when he signed out there with FAMU, big old land, and he's been doing his thing. He's been farming, he's been doing a whole bunch of other things. But without further ado, I call him Big Gotti, Cordell Thomas.
How y'all doing? First off, I want to say all praise to the Most High, Yahuwah and his son, Yahusha, just for having me here, man. It's been a journey, just spiritually, physically, mentally. A lot of you don't know, went ghost for a minute, but that was to understand what I was in, but also to understand what life was about. Everybody up here said a lot of amazing things that I feel, you guys need not only look at football-wise, but life-wise. Because for me, man, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My daddy from Zion City. My mama from Easy Town. Country folk that moved to the city, but overall, my foundation was rooted in righteousness. So I'm going to go to my story, and I'm gonna just, say a few things about life. First off, I want to say NIL, football, this landscape of everything right now is really out here to really make you guys distracted. Because if we being honest, like they was mentioning, those of y'all who don't have no offers shouldn't be looking for a dime. You gotta go grind for that. And those who do, you gotta grind to keep that. So when I say talking about focusing on becoming better men first, that'll help you stay in those positions with wisdom, like we giving y'all up here. So for me, 5-star, number one in the nation. I can tell you right now, I don't have a story of messing up. I have a story of, how can I put it, overcoming, but really just realizing what's around you. So when they say what's around you, that's real. Because for me, taking off 1 million views on YouTube young, really directing my own different things like that, I ain't understand how creative I was. But looking back now, I can tell y'all right now, man, go for football, but go for your passions too, bro. I'm telling you right now, when I went to FAM, before I go into, LSU, I was taking that financial aid money and putting that into my businesses. My father just died, and for me, I ain't gonna lie to you, Coach, no, I'm a hustler, dog. Before I cried, shed a tear for it, I had to go get it. Moms need help, and before I go, do something wrong, I said, I'm gonna use this, and using this led me to open up Bayou Bison Co., bison restoration company where we focus on bringing the buffalo back to Louisiana, but also getting us back to original people, which even led me to finding out my indigenous roots, which led me to finding out why I'm so strong at heart. So, man, and excuse me, man, if I get a little emotional, but it's real, but LSU, should get there off rip. Conditioning test, nothing. Eating it, nothing to me. Strongest in the weight room. 485 bench, my first summer, all that. But for some reason, I never just could get over the hump. I could say off rip, yeah, sometimes it was political, but sometimes I guess it was me holding myself back when I realizing how great I was, not only on the field, but in spirit and in heart too. So just saying that to say y'all boys got to realize that, because that's going to carry you more than anything. Man, my first practice is Wednesday. Get moved to the ones, about to start Cordell Thomas, because I'm going to tell you right now, I earned everything. I played travel ball, so I ain't playing brick. No offense to no leagues, but I came out of nowhere when I came on the scene and earned that. So get to college, never had no big head. Hope my guys don't get me, but we had something called ice cream and cake back then. And it was like something they did to the freshmen, but they never gave it to me just because they respected me that much. So first week, man, got hurt. I'm talking about ankle hanging off my leg. I'm talking about gruesome. I can tell you right there, man, I was just, calling the Messiah name, not looking at my leg because, it was hanging off my leg. I'm on the play. I'm like, it's my time. So from that moment on, not gonna lie to you, that's when it got crazy. You start seeing people change. You start seeing, same thing Rick was talking about, but I was down for real. Couldn't do nothing, couldn't go prove myself on the field. So really, from that moment, man, went through a lot of things. I say everything wasn't LSU, everything wasn't me either. Straight up, at one moment, they even told me I wouldn't survive outside of leaving LSU. So that's what made me leave, you know what I'm saying? So from that moment on, had a chance to start, play, do my thing. But when I tell y'all about NIL, man, that shit real. No offense to nobody, but I had guys in front of me I know wasn't better than me. Everybody in here, seeing me play. So I know for sure when I'm hearing things in the media or going through different situations, I'm sitting here whipping somebody every day. It's like, hold up. So I'm giving y'all that real side, because when money involved, media change, coaches change, and everything change. No matter how good you is, if somebody gonna put more people in them seats, you don't matter. So you gotta have, first of all, the right people around your right team, because I ain't gonna never tell nobody don't transfer, because if you transferring for a better bag and a better opportunity and a better structure on how they giving you that bread, then hell yeah, man, get out of there. Why? Why would you stay? I can tell you right now. I chose to go to FAMU because I knew at that time, with having a lot of money, the people around me, opportunities would do. So I went to FAMU. I said, man, I'm gonna be a farmer. Shoot, I know I can get it out the mud that way. I can own my own land, but also, I can have self-sustainability. You know what I'm saying? So from that point, started learning agribusiness. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Man, it was so hard. I'm in there looking at corn and lamb, and I'm going to my farm and, 12 stalks of corn plus 12, that's 24. But when you go to class and they got all kind of other stuff, you like, hold up. And the realest thing was just honestly told me go for my dreams was when my teacher at FAM told me he was a piano teacher and he did music, but he was teaching me farming. So at that point, I'm like, hold up, like, Most High, I feel like you telling me something different. I need to, you know, kind of go a different route. So from there, I ain't gonna lie, cut up at fam, shoot, won the championship. And I'm like, okay, it's time, boy. I'm on the East-West Shrine Bowl list before I even got there. And it's funny how as soon as I leave, you know, school, I get on the East-West Shrine Bowl list. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, put all my emotions to the side. I'm gone. It's a better opportunity now, which y'all learn that too. Don't dwell on the past with these coaches, bro. Because sometimes, bro, they don't even know no better. And in all honesty, like Coach say, man, you can make it better or worse. So sometimes you got to learn to tuck that. And I remember, Coach, you remember when I came back down when you first was telling me the truth about what's going on, and Coach was telling me about his situation, about how he had to learn to real life, play the politics. And I ain't gonna lie, boy, I see that now. Because sometimes, you know, where we from, you crash out because you're right, but in instance, that action made you wrong. So a lot of times, I just had to learn how to just really, man, mold myself. So saying that to say, went to FAMU, East-West Shrine Bowl is love FAMU, but you know how I go NIL. We gonna give you this, we gonna give you that. I play for free. You know what I'm saying? Me and my people came out 80K out our own pocket, just being real. And I'm on scholarship. So when we talking about NIL, I'm giving you is real because a lot of people, parents even, you know, just being real with child. If you ain't raised your child to go get that, then don't look for no money because he gonna get passed up. Now he can be that if everybody, you know, it take a village, but just that delusion of what this landscape is, I think everybody got mistaken. Focus on having your structure together because I done seen dudes get $100,000 cars and wreck them the same day. I done seen dudes sign contracts with agents in college and they getting blitzed right now with percentages. You know what I'm saying? So just, man, listen to what I'm saying. And I'm sorry I'm being weird but technical, but from FAMU, go to University of Central Missouri. I'm in Warrensburg, Missouri, bro. Middle of nowhere. This a D2. Most people don't even know I went there. Went there, man, I'm still on the East-West Shrine Bowl list, so I'm like, okay, forget it, you know. I'm on the East-West Shrine Bowl list. People make it from D2s all the time. Let's go. It's another rodeo. Man, I guess I could say that's when I started learning about bison. Got my first 5 bison. And that whole time in Missouri, you know, there's nothing out there, nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the Field Inn late at night, just sitting at the lake, like, telling myself, like, man, shoot, this is what we doing. If you got to get you a farm and some bison in Missouri and be Missouri Cordell, then that's what we doing, straight up. So from there, when I accepted my fate with the Most High and I put everything behind me, shoot, relationships, people, even being stolen from in my first business, because I ain't gonna lie, I was making something from RIP, but trusting people without having no league money. So I'm coming from a sense of hustling for it, shoot, without having the league money, but still trying to chase the league. You see what I'm saying? Because someone just telling me something ain't right. You know, $40 million, but somebody still can tell me to wake up and go run. I don't like that. And that might not be everybody, you know, route, but I just couldn't have nobody telling me what to do. So I had to go for something different. So saying that to say, man, Coach Prime called. Shoot, I'm in Missouri, coming from the farm. I was farming and going to practice. Straight up, I was living it, not gonna lie to you. Coach Prime called. I'm like, okay. All right, you know how it is. You pray, you ask the Most High for something. You like, okay, I'm a farm in Missouri. Then Coach Prime call you like, hold up, man, what's going on? So, man, I said, forget it. I know Bison there. I know the National Bison Association there. So I'm gonna go for it. And long story short, I learned a lot of business there. Didn't play. I should have. Politics came back around again, but that's a longer story. But through all that, I learned that for one, I'm an adapter. And when you block out the noise of everybody telling you what you should be and how to do this, especially people that never did it, you will go 10 times further. You looking at somebody that went to 4 schools, dominated at them, and then honestly, bro, shoot, I just turned down going to the NFL because I feel like farming was better. Going to different leagues and different lanes like that just because it's just my route. And I'm telling y'all boys young, man, like, y'all at the age and y'all in the landscape where, man, they gonna hand it to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I think, like I said, I think we got it confused as people that's in it. I feel like, you know, how we treat the action of NIL life and football just really go all into one. I feel like football taught me a lot of discipline that really taught me further. So, man, that's it for me. I appreciate y'all listening to me, even though I was a little, long, but just take the wisdom, bro. And true intelligence is applying wisdom to action. I can tell you that right now. Don't sit here and listen, and don't take it in, because when it come back around when y'all get older, y'all gonna wish that, you did, because it's just the society we in. Don't take everything for granted, and that's all I got.
Let's give one more hand for all of our speakers today for the 707. I know I kind of been talking on, kind of giving some highlights from everybody speaking. I'm gonna kind of do the same right there. He made a point right here, and this is some of the things that one of the sayings that I say too as well. A lot of times people argue about right and wrong, and you could be right. And he just said it. He just said it. And sometimes people can be right and then turn their right into their wrong, if you know what I'm saying right now. So I can be in a situation where me and the next person are talking and I know I'm right, and that person do something to me first, and I know my stance and I'm doing the right thing, but I could turn around because of what they did and react the wrong way. Now I was in the right, but now I didn't let my right become my wrong, if that makes sense. And that's a lot of things that's out here, those distractions. That's where people try to get you to do something that you shouldn't do. And you're already right. But a lot of people feel like they need to justify. They need to react. They need to respond to everything. And that's the world we're living in for social media. Everybody sending out messages right now is right at our fingertips. All of those distractions, like you were just saying up here, and pretty much everybody spoke about those things. So, man, hopefully, again, from all the speakers that y'all heard today, because everybody had walks of life, but one thing you hear, everybody had some adversity, had to overcome something, had to learn from somebody. Because the way you learn is either going through your own or from what somebody give you, and being able to take heed to it. And a lot of times, you might not even understand all the things that you just heard up here. But let them be red flags. That's what my brother used to tell me back when he used to give me advice about different things. He said, look, you might not understand it, everything I'm telling you right now, but hopefully when you come into one of those situations or those situations, the words that you've heard become red flags, and those should be the signs. That's the wisdom. That's the spirit talking to you. Because everybody pretty much know right from wrong. Everybody pretty much know right from wrong. But it's what you're going to do in the moment that's going to stand out. Can you stand up even when that peer pressure right there? Even when my friends say, hey, man, we need to go do this, and I know better, what I'm going to do then? Those are the decisions. Those are the things, man. So again, man, I want to thank all of our speakers for coming out for our 707. This is our 4th year putting this on. And they had this idea back when we did it back in Orange Beach, Alabama, 4 years ago. And we've been bringing great speakers in ever since. And man, these guys just want to be able to pour into you and be able to pour into you guys with their journeys. So again, without further ado, do we got anything else, Andy, that you need us to do? That's gonna be it right there. And just from all of you guys, and I just want to say this from all of the guys that's here, from the whole Gridiron, all the guys that spoke today will be receiving checks from Gridiron Football. That's coming from all that. That's a gift from all of y'all. So y'all give yourselves a hand clap for these guys. You got something you want to say? Come on up. All right. So along with these checks, man, each one of these guys will get a bowl game to represent them, and for years to come, they'll know that they were speakers here at the 2025 Gridiron Bowl game. Thank y'all for coming out today, baby.